logistics.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. We also wanted to say thanks for her speaking out on Jeff Sessions and saying that he should resign, because we strongly support that. So we were really happy to see that both she and Governor Russo were calling for that. That's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think, our big strategy here is Russia, Bannon, Trump. One of Carl over here behind the camera said earlier today, he said, when there's a tantrum, there's definitely something going on, there's fire. And the early morning tweeting about Obama over the weekend, the continual denials of there being any engagement with Russia despite all of the evidence to the contrary. We need to get to the bottom of this. And Tulsi's got a loud voice. She's got a well-respected, she's got a media presence, she's got a loud voice. We want to hear her, hear where she is on this. I mean, if she disagrees with us, that's her prerogative, but we want to hear that rather than not addressing the issue. She's been less than vocal, or she has been less vocal than some of the rest of the delegation. Maybe that's a fairer way to put it, on how much digging needs to happen there. And I think to Gil's point, it'd just be good to know where she is on this. If she thinks we're premature and that this is an inappropriate investigation, tell us that. But if she thinks that where there's smoke, there's fire, and where there's a tantrum, there's a problem, we'd like to hear that too.
I'll second you on that thing. I follow Tulsi and everything she says, and I feel like a lot of the things that she says are about the Syrian war or about the veterans, and not really about what's happening in Washington. And to me, what's happening in Washington is more concerning than anything. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes.
Thank
you.
And we'd still like to see his tax returns. I wish she and they would keep hammering that point.
Absolutely. There will be a tax march.
April 15th.
April 15th here locally.
You can get the information on J20's website.
Absolutely. And we'd also, given...
Will she join us on that march? Is she going to be in town? What? We'll certainly invite her. She's welcome.
Yeah.
We're welcome.
Please extend
We'd love
that
to have her
I
there.
think the March for Science is April 22nd.
Yep.
Yeah.
March for Science is April 22nd.
And then the climate march the 29th.
We'll be busy.
So we've got
Lots of marches.
Lots of places for her to find lots of constituents.
Yeah, definitely. We're also, given that she is very concerned about the Syrian people, refugees are a big issue. The new travel ban is not any better than the old travel ban, and so if we can hear her speaking out on that too. J20's also organized an event on immigration this weekend, and the State Attorney General will be speaking at it. So we would really like to hear her. Again, we recognize her particular interests, but we'd also really like to hear her speaking out on this ban.
She has actually spoken against the blanket travel ban.
Excellent. Since
The new one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Has she come out on the new one?
Great. We're glad to hear that.
That's the kind of leadership it's nice to see. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to note too, I do appreciate the Stop Arming Terrorists bill. I do appreciate that legislation. There's a lot of things I know she has to be concerned with, and Trump is the huge elephant in the room, but we do have to stop arming terrorists, so please thank her on my behalf if no one else.
What's your name?
Lucia, you. I'm incredible.
Yeah, and I think that's, as a group that comes every week, I think that's a really important message to convey back to her. Not all of us in the room agree with Lucia on that, but that's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's okay. This is a group of constituents that are engaged, articulate, informed, and want to be part of a dialogue. And I don't share Lucia's view, but she and I may walk out together and talk about it and hear each other's points of view. And that's what we'd like to do with Tulsi.
It's the only way forward is
Yeah.
communicating and
Yeah.
working together.
And transparency.
Yeah,
That's why we
everyone
want to
having
know
good
where she stands on
communication.
issues. You want clear conviction, clear answers, opportunity to have a town hall, just some real transparency on what her positions are, what she's thinking, and what she's thinking moving forward.
I'd like to know about her meeting with Trump, what was spoken, and if that was the reason that she went to Syria. What was that all about?
Yeah, it's been pretty widely reported that Bannon was the instigator for the initial meeting with Trump, and then reported as a strong word, rumored that perhaps he had something to do with the Syria trip. I don't know if the rumors are true. I don't even know if the widely reported is true, but it would sure be nice to just hear from her. Not the
Direct from
not
her.
the sound bites and the press releases,
And the
but a real
production
discussion
team.
with her about what is that relationship. I mean, I get that she shoots from a different place. She doesn't fall on either side of the spectrum as neatly as a lot of members do, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But not understanding where she's coming from at any given point, that sounds more like our president than it does our delegation. And I would like to just know where she's coming from and what her thinking is. She may well be right, and she may know some things we don't know, but we'd like to know them. Is that a fair?
I
Yeah.
agree.
Absolutely agree.
And Anya, you have probably been the most receptive of any of the staff
Yes.
in hearing these comments, and we
Thank
appreciate
you
that.
very much.
Thank you.
That's what we're here for.
I know.
I just wanted to comment, so she was invited by President Trump to meet. There was no back plans or anything going on. She was invited to speak, and Congresswoman will take the opportunity to speak with her if she needs to in order to get across points that are important for the American people. So she did that, and she explained what she talked about, and he was talking to her about.
I don't remember seeing what she talked about anywhere, so I don't,
Yeah,
maybe she
I
could
know.
speak about it again.
Yeah, I think there's probably statements I can get your address or forward you some information if you'd like. There's some statements that were made and information that.
And that's helpful, and we can Google it, but again, I think it's the dialogue, and now, what is it, 8-10 weeks later, would she take that meeting again? Does she think it was productive? What's coming from it? I'm not sure a lot of other Democrats have met with Trump, certainly not in those early days. You know, it really is less of a witch hunt as to why, and more of a question of what now.
Again,
And where
I
do we
think
work
it speaks
together?
to my underlying, I can agree what she's doing, but it's just the underlying trust. I just don't understand where she's coming from, right? And, you know, I voted for her and I support her. Still, that level of what's motivated her trust. Again, I
Transparency.
just like some straightforward statements, whether I agree or not.
Any other issues anybody wants to bring up? Anything new from her we need to know? Any new legislation, any bills she's sponsoring, anything she's working on?
I can tell you that, was it you probably know the Affordable Care Act.
I've heard.
Yeah.
It's a healthcare thing, right?
Congresswoman and her staff are reviewing that, looking at that closely, so.
Okay, what does that mean now?
Well, it's come out and she's reviewing it, so she's not ignoring it, she's reviewing it.
But most Democrats have come out, and even a lot of Republicans have come out and said,
Yeah.
this doesn't work. Is she not there yet?
Yeah. All I know is that it's being
She's
reviewed.
reviewing it.
Could maybe next week
Could we get
get
a
a
clear?
fair statement of what she likes and doesn't like?
I'll pass on that comment.
Thank you.
Or I would say, we'd like to know her position.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
That's it.
I think that's indicative of what we're talking about here. I mean,
Yeah.
that's that's low-hanging fruit. It's, the Affordable Care Act has
It's crucial.
been
Yeah.
widely supported by Democrats, and she still runs on that ticket, best of my knowledge. And so, if she's not ready to oppose what's been put out there yet, we'd like to know why and what she's, and I'm okay with her not, again, I'm okay with that, but just, I'm reviewing it, and I'll get to you when I get to you. It just doesn't signal a lot of confidence.
And Powell's a little more diplomatic than I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
Like I'm really not
Well,
into
I'm not
these
okay with my
changes.
vote following
Yeah.
that.
Right.
But she has the right to make her own calls.
Sure.
But I think
Yeah.
votes follow that.
But
I
she,
mean,
yeah,
it's-
she should know that her
As Maisie just
many
said,
of her
elections
constituents
matter.
are not going to be into that.
And the sad thing is, those couple hundred people that were at the library in Kailua, was it 2 weeks ago now? Every one of those people voted for her. I can promise you they did. 95% of them won't the next time. And that's unfortunate, because she has had deep support across the state. And she's got a tough district, I get that. And we're not all going to always agree, but
But there's some
keeping
issues
everything
that-
hidden
yeah.
and
Yeah.
just not being forthcoming is getting old.
I don't think she's hiding. She's not hiding. She's not.
It feels that way,
Mhm.
and
It
I
feels
get that
that
she
way.
might
Yeah.
not be, but it definitely feels that way.
She's going to strongly consider everything that comes by her. She's not just going to make. She's not going to react to this or anything else. She's going to strongly consider because it's very important for the people she represents to strongly consider everything that comes by her. So.
She'd probably really like to have a video conference with us.
Well, we have
Sure.
probably taken more than enough of your time, thank you.
I'm just,
Well,
can I just-
curious, on the ACA, is there, so our presence here signifies that we really care about the ACA. Would that be taken into part of her strong consideration? What else would be helpful, like,
I mean, we receive calls every day, we receive emails, so everyone's opinions and comments and feedback and constituency is very important. So, yeah, just
Yeah, the
keep
ACA is
really-
very concerning since I do have a lot of pre-existing conditions, and as a dancer, my job is incredibly physical. So if I were to lose health insurance, that would affect my ability to do my job. So that is, it's
Paramount.
become
Yeah.
my main concern right now is will I have health insurance? So the reviewing and the non-answer is again concerning. Yeah.
And I just, it's easy in Hawaii to think because we have prepaid healthcare already that maybe it's not such a big deal in Hawaii. It's a big
It
deal.
is.
It's a big deal. You've got ACA subscribers in this room. And you've got a lot of people whose coverage is way better with ACA than it even was with the state's prepaid healthcare system. And what it does to gut Medicare, Medicaid, Planned Parenthood, so many things that are near and dear to core values of Hawaii. It's just a slap in the face to everything the state stands for. So while she continues to thoughtfully review, maybe she can take that into consideration too. There was another question over there somewhere.
I just wanted to reiterate that we represent a group of, what is it, almost close to 15?
We're close to 2,000
Close to
between our various,
2,000 now.
maybe more than that at this point.
Yeah.
I've
So
lost
it's more
count.
than just the individual voices here, we are
Yes.
a constituency that matters.
Yes.
And we're Outer Island as well.